like all production sessions, especially when you're young, and I was very young as a producer as well as them being young as bands, but I was like 2 or 3 years older than them, and I was being quite dominant because I've always been a very autocratic producer. So I wasn't actually saying to them, don't you think that solo ought to be a bit shorter? I was just saying, that solo's too long, cut it down to 8 bars or whatever. And I was trimming them like mad because they were very self-indulgent in those days. It was the era of progressive music. People were doing 19-minute solos and huge intros, and I didn't like all that because I thought it was generally very, very boring. There were some good moments in a lot of the longer stuff, but not, I preferred it distilled down. So I was actually teaching them to cut things, trim everything, and make it much shorter, keep everything very much sort of 3 minutes, 4 minutes, get the lyric in one thing, keep the solos down and all the rest of it. I had quite a lot of aggravation from a couple of them. Both Tony and Anthony used to be very aggravated that I would cut their keyboard or guitar solos to almost nothing because it was too self-indulgent. Peter always had to go off and have a shower when he was about to sing because his voice tightened up and he got nervous. My engineer was a guy called Tom Allen, who's gone on to be a very successful producer, was behind most of the Judas Priest big hits later on. And he was another Charterhouse old boy who'd come into the engineering world. And we were having very good times, and it was good fun. It didn't take long. We stitched the album together slowly but surely with absolute gems on it, like The Silent Sun, Where the Sour Turns to Sweet, and certain tracks that still to this day I think are terrific songs, better than a lot of later Genesis songs in my opinion. And we just sort of put them together, laid it all down. I think it went straight on to stereo. It might have been 4-track. And I think it was 4-track because we did have to have strings and things that we laid on as well. But it was done very, very easily in the Regent Sound 2 studio, which was the extra bigger studio they'd built up near Charing Cross Road, further up Tottenham Court Roadway. And it all went nicely. I mean, I enjoyed myself. I think they all enjoyed themselves. They were probably more excited by it than I was because I'd already reached the stage of having arrived. But this was all their very first chance and starting them off on the road to success.